Hey guys, so by request, we will be starting a new series and it will be called What If Goku Was Like Dr. Gero? So let's hop right into it. So we start out seeing Bardock with his son sending him out on a space pod. Bardock being one of the great scientists of planet Vegeta, known for creating a lot of technological developments such as the healing pods and scouters, which helped Saiyan society and the Freezer Force develop much more in terms of their technology. So in this situation, Goku actually inherits this genius IQ from Bardock, and Bardock leaves him with one last thing as he sends off his son to go to planet Earth, as he knows that planet Vegeta is about to get destroyed. As he tells Goku, there was a lot that I wanted to develop. There was a lot of science that was left unexplored. I hope for you to be able to carry on my will to try and use science to help fighters become stronger. And I hope that you too can become a great scientist. As this message hits Goku straight to the core, as it forms a founding principle of his life from now onward, as he then gets sent off to planet Earth. He lands not in the normal place where he did in the original story, where Gohan met him, but instead he lands right next to the Red Ribbon Army base, as if by fate, hearing Bardock's wishes. An old man comes across the space pod, as he looks in and finds a baby boy with a tail, knowing immediately that this boy was not of human origin, as he then takes the boy and decides to raise him. So the first few years, Goku was raised with Dr. Gero, and Dr. Gero saw Goku's knack for science, as he was always very interested in what Dr. Gero was doing. He would try build his own small contraptions and things to play with, which was quite amusing to Dr. Gero. And Dr. Gero, even though he was evil, started to feel bonded to this child, as even his own son became playmates with Goku. And even though his son was older, they had a sibling type of relationship. So time passes and Goku becomes much better with his science, helping Dr. Gero out and seeing the experiments that he does with the androids. Gero's type of evil nature rubs off on Goku, as Goku isn't really averse to human experimentation, because to him technological progress matters much more than safety and human sovereignty. So Goku learns from Dr. Gero how to enhance bodies in order to make them much stronger and able to fight much better, to create stronger armies. And this goes on for a while. Goku learns much more, and the Red Ribbon Army becomes much stronger and better with the technology by virtue of Dr. Gero's trainings. However, a few years later, something happens that shocks everyone, as an old man with his bold student somehow managed to take the whole Red Ribbon Army on, and they managed to destroy the whole Red Ribbon Army. Goku at this point had gone out to explore the world, so he was not in the area at the time. But by the time he comes back, he sees Dr. Gero he sees Dr. Gero nowhere to be found actually, and he sees that the whole Red Ribbon Army was destroyed, and his own older brother of sorts was killed in this attack. This enraged Goku, as he swears to use his own technological progress to make himself stronger, to make sure that he gets revenge on whoever did this to his family, and to become stronger himself, to be able to protect anything he wants to. As he then creates his own lab and gets tinkering and learning more about science. He remembers what Dr. Gero told him all those years ago, that he found him in a space pod. This led Goku to know that he has much more potential than the ordinary human. And using DNA analysis, he was able to create a training routine that would perfectly suit his Saiyan genetics. As bit by bit, he manages to develop and become much, much stronger. He then decides to explore the world and test his abilities around with different fighters. And so, he enlists to fight the Tenkaichi Budokai to see how strong he has gotten. So we now see Goku preparing for the Tenkaichi Budokai by testing out some of the scientific enhancements he had made, as he noted how humans managed to fight people much stronger than themselves by using martial arts and by using different techniques. As Goku then creates an enhancement to his eyes that allow him to copy these techniques and memorize them. And on top of this, he doesn't develop the infinite energy engine as of yet, but he develops enhancements to make his stamina much stronger. Due to his Saiyan pride though, he did not want to just boost his strength using technology, but instead increase his capacity to gain strength, as he does enjoy training, and it's something he does on a daily basis. As he then the Tenkaichi Budokai starts. So, as you can see, a lot of time has passed as Goku has been training in isolation, trying to just develop his technology. This of course led to him having a more evil nature, as there were no people around him to try and temper his rage and calm him down, as he knows that the people who killed Dr. Gero are gonna be in this tournament. So the first person he's left to fight is Tien, a man who looks quite interesting with 3 eyes, as Goku guesses that he also has his own mystical origins. As the fight starts, he sees Tien's impressive techniques, such as the Dodon Ray and the multiform technique, as he decides to copy these techniques for himself and use them against Tien. Everyone is shocked by the way that Goku at first seemed to not be able to handle this martial arts and combat, but as time passed, they could see how he was quickly learning and actually copying Tien's techniques, which was a scary thought for every martial artist there, that just by vision, Goku could copy every technique that they had, as now Tien gets quickly knocked out of this competition. Goku does not really aim to kill anyone that he does not have any revenge against, so he does not kill Tien, of course, and killing is banned in this tournament. The next fighter he has to fight in the semi-finals that really matters is actually Krillin. So Goku knows that Krillin was part of the people, was one of the 2 who destroyed the Red Ribbon Army, and he decides that even though he cannot kill, he will greatly injure this man, and he will make sure that he will finish him off at the end of the tournament. So Goku then decides to fight Krillin, and Krillin uses his Kamehameha, which Goku then also copies. He's quite interested in Krillin's martial arts, as he decides that they're even higher than what Tien's was, as he copies the solar flare that Krillin also had, as he then breaks Krillin's bones and throws him out of the arena, scaring everyone there as they see that Goku is not one to play around. Roshi, knowing that he's the only one with a chance to defeat this mystical warrior, as now the finals then take place, with Master Roshi fighting against Goku. Goku powers up and shows Roshi what the power of science can do, as he decides to play around with Roshi, as Roshi keeps trying to land hit on hit, quickly tiring himself out as he sees that Goku seems to have near unending stamina and is barely unfazed by Roshi's attacks, which is scary for him. But Roshi is a martial arts master, and he decides to prove that just using technology cannot overcome years of experience, as he does manage to land a few hits on Goku using his buff form. And eventually, Goku is quite impressed by this man, and he decides to ask him, "Old man, do you know why I'm doing this?" As the old man then says, By the science that you have been employing in this tournament, I can assume that you were once part of the Red Ribbon Army. The Red Ribbon Army was an evil organization that had injured and experimented with many people and caused the damage to a lot of other societies. And they had an aim of world domination. If I did not do something, what would have happened to the rest of the world? People have families, children, and all I wish is to protect these people and give them the chance to live peaceful lives. As Goku can understand where he's coming from, but however, his drive for science is what pushes him forward, as he tells Roshi, "Is the lives of a few worth more than the development for many?" Science has driven us this far. Imagine how far we could have gone with the technology of the Red Ribbon Army. You might have set us back thousands of years without even knowing it and without any remorse. For that, you should be punished, as he then breaks Roshi's bones as he did for Krillin, and he gets announced to be the winner of this tournament. As soon as he's announced winner, he then says, "Well, I don't have to follow the rules anymore, do I?" As he then launches 2 blasts that finish Roshi and Krillin off, scaring everyone there. Everyone else flees as they're afraid of Goku's wrath, and everyone knows that they have no way to stop him. As Goku then flies out in search of more knowledge and power. During his escapades, a tall green man appears in front of him and says, "You who goes by the name of Goku, you must stop what you are doing, for you will bring more ruin to yourself and those around you." As he then looks at this man, and he's also curious, as he is no ordinary being from this planet that he can tell, and he asks, "What are you?" As he says, "I am the one who watches over this planet, and I have seen all that you have been doing, and this has to end. Come with me, and I will show you what this path leads to." As Goku then follows this green man to his lookout, where Kami explains to him the past of this world and what endless revenge, death, and destruction leads to. As Goku then sees how back in the day Kami used to be one being, and how this Demon King Piccolo, just due to his evil inclinations, caused irreparable harm and blowback on him. As Kami says, "The more that you harm others, the more people wish to get revenge upon you, as you then create a cycle of hatred." As Goku then notes this lesson, as he says, "I've already gotten revenge at whoever I had enmity toward. I have no evil plans towards anyone else, and I do not wish for the domination or destruction of this planet. All I want now is to be allowed to continue my research and become stronger, in peace without being disturbed." As then basically Kami decides to take this man with him to teach him more about the knowledge of this world and about ways to become stronger, hoping that eventually Goku might become someone who might take his place and become a better person. As now Goku spends his time training with Kami and basically learning from Kami in Kami's lookout. Meanwhile, in Otherworld, we see how Krillin and Master Roshi are given access to King Kai's chambers to train more, as they do not trust Goku, and they know the influence of the Red Ribbon Army, and they know at any time if Goku decides to, he might create ruin for the rest of planet Earth. King Yama, understanding this, allows them passage towards King Kai's planet, as they then set off to train with King Kai. Meanwhile, Bulma, hearing about what had just happened and about some warrior that uses science in order to become stronger, becomes intrigued with this man and decides to use her own technology to try and find him and see what he knows. As this is where I'll leave the story off for the first part, and if it sounds interesting, let me know and I'll be happy to post a part 2. So anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well and have a great day, guys. See you later.